Hello there, it's Carrie Rhoades here. Welcome back to the Trinity Stamps YouTube channel. Today I have a super fun project for you that's a card and a gift in a box. It's so much fun. It features this Happy Snowman stamp set and the Slimline Surprise die set that you see here. So we're going to start out with this die. I'm going to show you the pieces that I die cut to make today's surprise card. This is the main piece of this die, and when you cut it out you have a panel that looks just like this. I used an 8.5 by 3.5 inch panel. It had almost no waste when I cut it out, so you might want a little bit bigger piece so you don't risk missing part of it when you die cut it out. But it will fit perfectly on an 8.5 by 3.5 inch card. So I just folded on the score lines so that the middle of the card peeks up, and then this second piece die cuts the mechanism that's going to move the card. And it only die cuts on 3 sides, so I just let the top of that second piece overlap the cardstock when I cut it out. And now I'm putting some double stick adhesive around this card, but I'm using the 1/8 of an inch, so I have plenty of room for this mechanism. And then the 1/4 of an inch on the little tab at the bottom while I line up the top of the white piece with the top of the black piece. That way I can easily grab it and slide that up and down. We're going to set that aside and put a rip strip on the inside of my card base, which is 8.5 by 7 scored at 3.5. When I die cut that out, you can see I have this strip I can rip open to get out the surprise that's on the inside. There's also a smaller rip strip that you can put the other way in the card, which I just showed you. All right, so now we're going to die cut the little pieces for my Happy Snowman. I'm using red and black on this card with, a few other accents, like his hands. I threw in a little bit of green, and I just wanted it to be really traditional colors. Now I'm going to take that red scarf that I die cut and glue it down to a piece of green cardstock. And I'll set that aside to dry, and then once it's dry, I'm going to cut it out, and you'll see how I make that work. While it's drying, I am doing a little bit of a cool gray outline on each of these pieces that create the snowman body with C2, C00, and then even my colorless blender to give them a little bit of dimension. So here I am cutting out the scarf that I glued to the green cardstock and even snipping out this little tiny piece right there. And I needed a little bit more definition right here, so I thought I would outline each of those green pieces to give them a little bit more of a shape, since I had to do it to those 3 in the middle. And that was pretty much how I wanted it, but I will come in again later with a gel pen to dress it up, so we'll get to that. Now I'm using this tiny die set that was a tag die set that was a promotion last month at Trinity Stamps that was a free gift with purchase, so you may or may not have received this. It is not available for purchase right now, but I happened to get it and I wanted to use it, so you could use anything in place of this coffee cup. I'll show you that in a minute. But right now I'm taking these stars from this awesome slimline stamp set, and they're not stars, they're snowflakes, and I'm stamping them in white ink all down the front panel of my black Slimline Surprise panel, and then I just took one of those tiny ones off to fill in some holes. Now when I glue on the snowman's body, I'm making sure to put the bottom or largest piece of the snowman just above that first score line, and then no glue is going to go on the back of my snowman once his body reaches the halfway point of this card where that score line is, because we want him to stand up and not prevent this card from opening the way we want it to. So now I'll just attach all of his parts and pieces, his little coal eyes. There's 2 of these dies, so you can easily die cut 2 eyes at once. You could also use them for like his buttons, but I didn't do that since he's going to be holding his little latte there. And then I'm going to attach his smile and his little drink. Isn't that cute? And his hands holding it. There's also some straight arms for this snowman if you don't want to use the bent ones. And I think he turned out super cute, but it's always nice to add some white gel pen to bring your die cut elements to life. So I'm going to bring that in and around all these die cuts, and I like to use like a line and a couple dots, and I really think it just helps it to stand out. And I I will come back in with that gel pen a little bit later once I realize I want to add some more to the green part of the scarf. But for now, I am stamping the greetings, and they are from Greetings of the Season. One says Merry Christmas. The other one says Have a Cup of Cheer. I'm embossing those with white powder on some red cardstock, and then I'll bring in a die set once this is heat set to die cut those out. This is the Scalloped set from the Slimline series, and I am just going to partial die cut each of these because one's going to go at the top and one's going to go at the bottom, and then they just fit perfectly on my card like that. And the other one I'll have come in from the right side, so that's why the flag is on the opposite side. I love this Have a Cup of Cheer. And then we have our little hidden surprise that will be going in there that has to do with a cup of cheer, and I love that. All right, so now we're adding in the white gel pen accents to the green part of the scarf, and I really feel like that made it. And this whole time I was debating about putting some pink cheeks on my snowman, and then since I kept thinking about it, I decided to go for it, and then I added some white gel pen freckles to his face. I'm going to color in the hole where the hole for this tag would be black so you can't really see it. And now I'm putting the adhesive onto my card base. I'm going all around this rip strip, but I am not going to cover up the part that the person will grab and pull back because then they wouldn't be able to. It would be stuck down. So make sure you don't cover that with adhesive, but the other end is okay. I'm going to put a $5 bill in there, and you might have seen that I doubled up my tape there just so it had like a tiny bit of lift, a little bit of room. And then when I put on this front panel, I decided to use a little bit of liquid glue, so I might give myself a little bit of wiggle room when I try to perfectly align my card front with my card base. So I did that, and I did need the wiggle room, and sometimes you just have to be slow and patient and work with these things and not press down too soon. So here you can see when you pull that white piece, this slides up and down, and you can see that $5 bill behind the window. And now I'm going to bring in the envelope builder die set. This is so cool. I die cut out the largest rectangle and the scallop piece to create these two frames, and then I die cut one without the scallop piece, and that's the base of them. Now I'm bringing in the envelope builder add-on that can turn this into a box, plus you have these two extra pieces to create different openings for the main envelope. So to create the box, you're just going to need these two pieces, and you're going to die cut two of each. So you have these pieces to create your envelope box. And I'm also going to use a window sheet because I want my opening to have a window behind it. And I need something to adhere my two window pieces. So I'm going to put adhesive all around that plain window, adhere my window sheet to the back of that, and then trim off any excess in case I didn't get this on straight. I'm sure that never happens to you. No. And then I will adhere the second scallop piece just inside that, and that one's really easy to line up. And now I have this amazing window. This, to me, makes this box. Look how cute it's going to look with the snowman inside. Okay, so now I decided to use these little fasteners, and where I marked my hole to put my fastener on was way down low, so my crocodile couldn't reach it. So I brought in some old school tools to create a hole with a press punch and an eyelet, and I hammered it. If you get motion sickness, you might want to look away right here. I decided hammering on my glass mat wasn't a good idea, so I took it off my glass mat and hammered that and then set it, and I'll do the same thing on the little closure flap, and then we can hook that together with some twine. Okay, on these long pieces, you're going to want to put adhesive on the two long sides and only one of those little flaps. The ones that will be at the top of the box do not need adhesive. Then we're just going to adhere these together with the front panel, a middle panel, the back panel, a middle panel. And then we will go ahead and attach the bottom piece after that. Let me get this stuck down. Double-sided adhesive works great here. You could also use glue. You could use a combination of both. I'm a big fan of that. And then here's that bottom piece. And now I'm going to figure out how to put this bottom piece together that works the best for me. I decided that I wanted to take off my side piece and fold over the front of my box to create the whole big part of the box, then come in and do the bottom part. So just really do whichever works best for you. All right, so now I'll remove that adhesive. And I did find that this little rounded piece showed through into my window. So before I pressed down on that, I went ahead and trimmed off a little bit of that rounded part. So if you do a window in your box, you might want to trim that off. And now you can see I have the little flaps at the top, just like a box should. And I'm going to put this one on so it kind of feels like it's backwards, but that is so I can use those little rounded pieces on the back. So I'm just going to take some black and white twine and get that hooked under there. And then I'm going to add my card. And there you can see what I did on the inside. Somehow I missed recording that. I will show you the stamp set here in a minute. And then I will add a candy bar in there because we have plenty of room because it's a box, right? So I got a jumbo candy bar and I thought that would be super fun with this card that has surprise money. And now I'm bringing in this adorable bow die set. Isn't it so cute? And I am going to create a 3D bow with some Christmas paper from Trinity Stamps. I'm going to use this plaid pattern right here and die cut out the 3 pieces that I need to create a bow. There's 2 options for the top of the bow, and you can just do whichever one you like. You could probably even layer them. And then I'm going to round with my crease tool the top piece, put some liquid adhesive here in the center, hold down the tiny flap and to that center piece where the glue is, hold that for just a minute, and then repeat that on the other side, just holding it till it dries. And then there's this tiny little rectangle that you'll glue on and wrap around the center of the bow. That's going to give it a finished off look and kind of help hold down all those tiny little tabs. So this does take a little bit of patience again because it's like a teeny tiny thing to hold onto and to press down. So just take it slow. This little piece are the tails for the bow. It has a crease line, so if you want to fold it in half and have the tails hang down, you can very easily. But this one I'm going to have lay flat just like that, and I glued that right onto my box. So cute. I love how that turned out. So that is my project for today. The box is so much fun with that envelope builder and the box add-on and the rip strip and the surprise pull-a thing. Oh my gosh, I just loved this card and how it turned out. And there's the inside that I stamped with red, so I didn't have the black inside of my card. And that is the Merry and Bright stamp set I used on the inside. I'll have all the things that I used listed and linked for you below, so you can check that out. I thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope that you are having a fabulous holiday season. Happy stamping! Bye!